Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the thrilling developments unfolding in Port Charles. Over the next 2 weeks, from September 8th to September 19th, in the bustling world of Port Charles, surprises never cease. And the return of Britt Westburn is set to ignite a whirlwind of emotions and revelations. As she steps back into the familiar streets after her mysterious absence, the impact ripples through key relationships, leaving residents stunned and scrambling to adjust. Britt's reappearance isn't just a simple homecoming, it's a catalyst for long-buried secrets to surface, forcing characters to confront past decisions and forge new paths amid the chaos. Viewers can expect heartfelt confrontations and unexpected alliances as Britt navigates her way back into the lives of those she left behind, with her medical expertise potentially playing a pivotal role in upcoming health crises at the hospital. Focusing on the younger generation, Jocelyn, Jax, and Vaughn find themselves entangled in a web of secrecy that adds layers of intrigue to their already complicated lives. What starts as a high-stakes mission evolves into something far more personal, with the duo guarding a confidential detail that could alter their futures. This new secret, born from tense circumstances, might involve covert operations or hidden alliances, keeping fans on the edge of their seats as Jocelyn balances her loyalties between family and newfound connections. Vaughn, with his enigmatic background, brings an element of danger and excitement, hinting at broader implications for the Jax family dynamics in the episodes ahead. Diving into the events of the week of September 8th to 12th, Cody Bell steps up in a heroic fashion at the Quartermain stables, where he ensures the safety of young Scout Quartermain during a moment of peril. His quick thinking not only rescues Scout from harm, but also polishes his reputation in the eyes of Molly Lansing Davis, who has been wary of his intentions. This act of bravery could mark a turning point for Cody, opening doors to deeper involvement in the Quartermain family's affairs, perhaps even leading to unexpected romantic sparks or business opportunities. Once the dust settles, Scout returns safely to her temporary guardian, Willow Tate, who steps in seamlessly while Drew Kane recovers from his setbacks. Willow's nurturing presence at Elizabeth Baldwin's home provides a stable environment for Scout, allowing the child to thrive amid the family's ongoing dramas, with subtle hints of Willow's own internal struggles adding emotional depth to these scenes. Meanwhile, turmoil erupts at the luxurious Five Poppies resort, transforming a supposed getaway into a battleground of survival. Britt, Jason Morgan, Jocelyn, and Vaughn all emerge from the ordeal unscathed, their bond strengthened by the shared adversity. This chaotic episode highlights Jason's protective instincts, as he shields his companions from threats, possibly involving shadowy figures from his past. Upon their return to Port Charles, Britt's presence sends shockwaves through the community, prompting immediate reactions from those closest to her. Lulu Spencer and Dante Falconeri are left reeling from the bombshell news, their disbelief turning into urgent discussions about how to break it to their son, Rocco Falconeri. The couple's dynamic is tested as they grapple with old grudges and the need to protect their family unit, potentially leading to tense family meetings that uncover forgotten memories. The emotional core of Britt's return culminates in a poignant reunion with her mother, Liesl Obrecht, who has been a pillar of fierce loyalty in Port Charles. Their face-to-face encounter is charged with tears, questions, and perhaps accusations, as Liesl demands answers about Britt's disappearance and survival. This mother-daughter bond, often strained by past deceptions, could heal old wounds or ignite new conflicts, with Liesl's protective nature pushing her to meddle in Britt's affairs once more, adding to the investigative fervor. Michael Corinthos enlists Curtis Ashford's expertise to locate Jacinda, the elusive escort who holds the key to his alibi in a brewing scandal. Michael's determination drives him to explore every lead, from shady contacts to digital trails, underscoring his resourcefulness and the high stakes involved in clearing his name. Nina Reeves faces her own crossroads with a tantalizing proposal that could shift her power dynamics in Port Charles. Whether it ties into Jacinda's situation or a separate business intrigue, Nina weighs the risks and rewards, her ambitious streak clashing with moments of vulnerability. This subplot weaves in elements of corporate maneuvering, possibly involving media empires or personal vendettas, keeping Nina at the forefront of the show's dramatic tension. On the law enforcement side, Harrison Chase delves into the probe surrounding Drew Kane's shooting, relying on his sharp instincts to assess Willow's involvement. Struggling to separate his personal feelings for Willow from professional duty, Chase's internal conflict adds a layer of moral complexity, questioning whether justice or affection will prevail in his decisions. Dante Falconeri, too, encounters professional hurdles as he investigates Michael, a task that strains their familial ties and tests Dante's commitment to the badge. This brotherly clash could reveal hidden motives or alibis, intensifying the suspense around the shooting's aftermath. Shifting to the week of September 15th to 19th, Jocelyn and Vaughn navigate treacherous emotional waters following their nightmare mission. Though the danger has passed, their budding feelings linger, creating a forbidden romance that defies expectations. With Jack Brennan likely disapproving due to his authoritative role, the pair resorts to clandestine meetings, sneaking through Port Charles' shadows to nurture their connection. This secret affair injects passion and risk, exploring themes of young love amid espionage, and could lead to explosive confrontations if discovered. Britt, meanwhile, confronts the fallout from her dramatic return, fielding backlash from skeptics and supporters alike. Her interactions with the community reveal shifting alliances, as old friends offer tentative welcomes while rivals stir up trouble. A particularly touching moment arises when Britt reconnects with Rocco Falconeri, who eagerly learns about the woman connected to his origins, even if she's not his biological mother. This budding relationship brings warmth and curiosity, with Rocco's innocence contrasting Britt's complicated history, potentially fostering new family bonds. Looming on the horizon is the shocking comeback of Nathan West, with the show's writers meticulously laying groundwork through subtle clues and character reflections. Nathan's return promises to upend lives, resurrecting past loves and rivalries in ways that reshape Port Charles' landscape. Jason Morgan grapples with a tough choice regarding Jocelyn's covert status with the WSB, debating how long he can withhold this from Carly Spencer, especially as her romance with Brennan deepens. Jason's loyalty to Carly clashes with his protective instincts, setting the stage for potential betrayals or revelations that could fracture their enduring friendship. Finally, Drew Kane remains exposed to further threats, vulnerable to a possible sneak attack that heightens the danger surrounding his storyline. Next, we will learn about the high-stakes mayhem erupting in Croatia and the shockwaves that are about to slam straight into Port Charles. Buckle up, because Britt Westburn's frantic distress call is only the first domino in a chain reaction that will expose double lives, test loyalties, and turn the Five Poppies hotel into a war zone no one saw coming. Britt's cry for help. Britt has always been the kind of woman who keeps disaster at arm's length with biting humor and surgical precision. But this time even she can't stitch her own escape. Trapped in a remote suite somewhere on the hotel's unfinished east wing, she hacks a housekeeping tablet just long enough to reach Jason Morgan. The whisper-thin connection crackles with urgency. She rattles off room numbers, guard rotations, and the disturbing intel that Pascal is searching for a thumb drive she no longer possesses. Halfway through the call, the lock disengages. In sweeps Pascal with a dossier of surveillance stills and a smile that could freeze seawater. He disconnects the line, drags Britt down a back stairwell, and throws her in an improvised holding chamber, already occupied by two unexpected captive Esling Joss Jacks and the enigmatic S. Vaughn. Now one desperate plea for help has collapsed into a group hostage situation that will require surgical-level timing to survive. Jason's impossible choice. Back in Port Charles, Jason is at Pazzulo's when the garbled call hits his burner. Instantly every instinct screams go. He commandeers a private jet, spends the flight dissecting the audio clip frame by frame, and realizes three voices are present Britt's, Pascal's, and a third he can't place. Between texts to Damian Spinelli and quiet calls to Robert Scorpio, Jason pieces together enough flight manifests and WSB chatter to confirm Jocelyn is operating under deep cover authorized by Jack Brennan. That single fact blindsides him more than the danger itself. Carly's daughter running Black Ops in a foreign country? If he tells Carly the truth, the plan implodes. If he stays silent, he compromises every promise he has ever made to protect her family. By wheels down at Dubrovnik's night-shrouded runway, Jason's usually ironclad code of honor has already cracked in 3 places. Inside the WSB's secret directive, Jocelyn's recruitment happened months earlier under the codename Project Tidepool, a hush-hush directive aimed at dismantling Pascal's Balkan trafficking ring. Vaughn, real name Sebastian Vaughn Hawthorne, was assigned as her tactical partner, due to his uncanny gift for quantum encryption and infiltration. To maintain cover, they posed as eco-tourists mapping seagrass along the Dalmatian coast while funneling intel straight to Brennan's encrypted servers. Everything unraveled when Pascal intercepted a courier drone carrying fresh comms gear and traced the flight path back to the hotel's rooftop greenhouse. Vaughn neutralized two mercenaries, but a third triggered the silent alarm. By sunrise, both agents were chained in a maintenance corridor 10 floors below the lobby. Their only hope the possibility Britt could reach Jason before security blacked out every signal tower within 50 miles. Pascal tightens the net. Pascal is no cartoon villain. He's a former Olympic fencer, a polyglot with degrees in biochemical engineering, and a man who considers fear the purest form of currency. Knowing Jason's legend, Pascal sets a layered trap. He seals off the Hotel Marina with motion-triggered mines, bribes coastal police to reroute all civilian traffic, and hires a Croatian illusionist to stage a gala that same night, an event designed to lure Jason into a crowd of masked patrons, where one wrong move could spark an international incident. In the basement, Britt is forced to watch real-time camera feeds of every move Jason makes. Pascal's twisted aim is to use her as both bait and witness, proving he can dismantle Port Charles' most feared enforcer one calculated humiliation at a time. The rescue that wasn't. Jason arrives wearing a waiter's jacket, delivering vintage champagne to a private baccarat table. The plan is precise. He'll slip through a service elevator, disable power on sub-level 3, and extract the hostages before anyone notices the fireworks outside are an unscheduled diversion, triggered by Spinelli's remote drone. Everything sails smoothly until Jason opens the reinforced door and finds not one hostage, but 3 each fitted with a microfilament bomb bracelet keyed to Pascal's heartbeat sensor. One hard pulse and the cuffs detonate. Vaughn rapidly decodes the bracelet's frequency, tunes it into the wireless mic pinned to Pascal's lapel, and discovers the failsafe. Remove the cuffs simultaneously within a 7-second window, or lose a limb. As alarms howl, Jason slices Vaughn free, yanks the cuffs from Britt, and finally gets to Joss at the 6-second mark. They sprint through a ventilation shaft, dive off the roof into a laundry truck, and burn rubber toward a rented seaplane idling in a secluded cove. The flash drive everyone wants. During the getaway, Britt confesses she hid the original thumb drive containing Pascal's client list and the schematics for a slow-release nerve agent inside a hollowed-out stethoscope. Back at General Hospital, she admits she was smuggling the data to Liesel Obrecht in exchange for proof that Nathan West is alive. This revelation detonates an emotional grenade. Jason now realizes Britt's entire ordeal began because she tried to resurrect Liesel's hope of seeing her son again. Vaughn, monitoring WSB channels, confirms Brennan has ordered a scorched earth protocol of the drive surfaces in Port Charles. Multiple alphabet agencies will swarm in, painting bullseyes on every Quartermain, Corinthos, and Spencer in town. For a split second, Jason considers ditching the drive in the Adriatic, but Britt's plea Nathan's life might hinge on this pushes him to protect the data, even if it means waging war on both Pascal and the government that created Joss' double life. Return flight fallout. They land at a private airstrip outside Port Charles under cover of pre-dawn fog. Britt heads straight to General Hospital's subterranean records bunker to retrieve the stethoscope, only to find the locker empty and a calling card inside. Pascal's crest etched into surgical steel. The hotel tyrant has beaten them home, and the game board has just expanded. In the parking garage, Carly nearly collides with Joss, stunned to see her daughter in combat gear. Before Carly can unleash a mother's fury, Jason steps between them, promising explanations but refusing immediate answers, a move that tears a fresh wound in their already complicated bond. Port Charles on a knife's edge. Within hours, Sonny Corinthos, Anna Devane, and Dante Falconeri converge at the Corinthos compound. Each faction has a separate plan. Anna wants the drive surrendered to the WSB to shield Joss from treason charges. Sonny wants Pascal neutralized before any feds step foot in his city. Dante wants everything above board to avoid a departmental bloodbath. Britt, exhausted and edged with guilt, proposes a fourth option, linking the client list to select journalists, detonating a public scandal so massive no agency could bury it. The debate erupts into a storm of raised voices and slammed doors, leaving friendships frayed and alliances dangling by a thread. Nina and Liesel's high-risk gambit. Elsewhere, Nina Reeves intercepts her Aunt Liesel pacing the Crimson offices with a go-bag full of burner phones and experimental sedatives. Liesel plans to trade herself to Pascal in exchange for Nathan, convinced her maternal leverage outweighs any ransom. Nina, drawing on every ounce of boardroom cunning, counters with a rogue corporate maneuver, She will host an international medical symposium at the Savoy, lure Pascal with promises of research funding, and trap him under the watchful eyes of media streaming platforms. It is audacious, borderline reckless, and exactly the kind of play Pascal never anticipates from a fashion mogul. The problem? They need the thumb drive as bait, thrusting Brit once more into the crosshairs. Jason's final line in the sand. As dusk falls, Jason stands on Pier 54, thumb drive in palm, replaying memories of every person he's ever lost to secrets. He dials Brennan, offers a trade, immunity for Joss and Brit in return for the data. Brennan balks, warning Jason no single agent can rewrite bureau policy. Jason ends the call, drops the drive into a hollow thermite capsule, and ignites it. In 60 seconds, the only copy of Pascal's leverage is molten slag at the harbor's bottom. Jason vows to hunt evidence his own way, free from any leash. The gesture both protects and condemns without the drive. Pascal has no reason to hide, and Port Charles becomes his next battleground. What comes next? The city's power players brace for impact. Carly grapples with the revelation her daughter chose clandestine heroics over law school dreams. Sonny prepares a strike team to intercept Pascal before his jet touches down again. Dante starts drafting arrest warrants that might apply to his own friends. And somewhere in the shadows, Nathan West for the first time in years appears on a grainy CCTV still, stepping off a freighter near Spoon Island, alive but changed. Next, we will learn about the complicated crossroads facing Kelly Monaco, and whether daytime television has quietly slammed the door on one of its brightest stars. Kelly Monaco's sudden swan song. When viewers tuned in last spring expecting to see Sam McCall solving yet another mystery, they were blindsided by a tersely worded press release. Monaco was no longer part of our cast, effective immediately. In fewer than 140 characters, 20-plus years of history evaporated. That single announcement ignited message board meltdowns, fanfiction rewrites, and a frantic rewriting frenzy inside the General Hospital writer's room, as producers scrambled to excise Sam from months of story arcs without derailing the entire canvas. Behind the studio gates, officially, both sides cite creative differences. Unofficially, half a dozen theories swirl through backstage corridors. One camp whispers that Monaco's punctuality began slipping after her mother's health scare, with tardy rivals forcing cost-cutting schedule shifts. Another insists budget reallocation for digital sets triggered a salary standoff. A third, more conspiratorial faction claims new executive producer Madeline Voorhees wanted a clean slate to usher in a younger demographic and used Monaco's occasional sick days as leverage. None of those stories have been confirmed, but their persistence highlights a deeper problem. Opaque communication breeds rumor, and rumor becomes the only truth fans can grab onto. The podcast that never launched. Adding fuel to the speculation was Monaco's teased audio venture, Bad Bunny's a cheeky podcast she promised would spill more tea than at Boston Harbor. 2 teaser trailers dropped on Instagram, complete with neon pink graphics and a sassy tagline. Don't let the ears fool you. These bunnies bite back. Then no thing. The RSS feed stayed empty. The scheduled premiere date slid by, and the actress retreated from social media for 6 straight weeks. Insiders claim attorneys from more than one network reminded her the non-disclosure clauses in her 2019 renegotiated contract were ironclad for 3 full years after termination. Others counter that Monaco herself hit pause, fearing that a tell-all might nuke any chance of future reconciliation with Abcor CBS, where The Young and the Restless has reportedly flirted with the idea of recasting an edgy PI role later this fall. Silence from the industry. Ordinarily, a free agent daytime Emmy winner sparks a bidding war. Yet as of this writing, no major soap has publicly courted Monaco. Casting directors, when pressed, offer polite variations of "We love Kelly" and "wish her the best." Translation for longtime soap fans: phones are not ringing. Part of that chill stems from the genre's shrinking footprint. There are simply fewer shows, leaner budgets, and a ruthless push toward multi-platform contracts that give networks digital rights for pennies on the dollar. Veterans with heavyweight salaries become luxury items executives feel they can no longer afford, especially when TikTok stars with millions of followers can be hired at a fraction of the cost and bring a built-in marketing machine. Fandom refuses to fold. Viewers, however, are not moving on quietly. The hashtag #BringBackMonaco worldwide 3 separate times last year, and an online petition demanding ABC right the wrong sits at 185,000 digital signatures. Fan artist Chloe R's watercolor portrait of Sam McCall handing her Phoenix cane to an off-screen figure sold to 100 prints in 24 hours, with proceeds donated to the American Heart Association, an organization Monaco herself championed. After her grandfather's stroke in 2021, street team activists even mailed 5,000 origami phoenixes to the network's Burbank headquarters, each folded bird representing a day Monaco had appeared on GH. Executives returned them with a polite thank you note, but no comment on rehiring. Storyline surgery at General Hospital. Inside the show, Sam's sudden absence first massive rewrites. Scenes originally built around Sam and Dante solving the Echo Ridge ransomware mystery were reassigned to Spinelli and newcomer Elise Hollister. Jason's long-awaited romantic reunion story pivoted mid-dialogue to a cryptic letter from Sam explaining she was entering WSB witness protection and exit so abrupt fans jokingly dubbed it the Port Charles poof. The ripple effects continue. Sam's mother Alexis lost her primary confidant. Danny and Scout now drift between off-screen soccer tournaments, and Drew's PTSD arc feels curiously hollow without his ex-wife anchoring key beats. Monaco's life post-soap. While networks stay quiet, Monaco has not exactly faded into the shadows. She guest lectured at the Los Angeles Film School on the topic surviving 52-week production schedules, completed a week-long master class in aerial silk yoga, and surprised fans by choreographing a dance routine for a charity episode of Dancing with the Stars Jr. She also co-produced an indie short titled Blind Turn, a thriller about a rideshare driver trapped in a moral dilemma. Insiders say Monaco is fielding offers for true crime docuseries, hosting gigs, and voice-over work for a leading video game franchise, proving her skill set thrives far beyond the walls of Port Charles. Could a return even work? If ABC did dial her number tomorrow, several hurdles loom. Contract renegotiation would need to address not only base salary, but also streaming residuals, social media influencer clauses, and health and safety guarantees Monaco championed after suffering an onset concussion in 2018. From a storytelling standpoint, head writer Quinn Danvers would have to reverse Sam's witness protection exit, reintegrate her into multiple love triangles, and explain why her children were left in limbo. Fans may cheer, but narrative whiplash can tank ratings if executed clumsily. Alternate paths back to daytime. Of course, GH is not the only game in town. Rumor mills churn that Days of Our Lives wants a mysterious federal agent with moral gray areas for a winter arc, language tailor-made for Monaco's brand of brooding sass. Over at The Bold and the Beautiful, casting breakdowns reference a hard-edged art theft investigator set to spar with Ridge Forrestarigan, a mold Monaco could slide into with ease. Even the rebooted streaming version of defunct soap One Life to Live might dangle short-term arcs that let Monaco test daytime waters without signing multi-year deals. The larger industry picture. Monaco's saga highlights a broader existential crisis. Daytime drama must adapt or die. Live tweeting writers' rooms, transmedia story extensions, and digital collectible NFTs now jostle for budget lines once earmarked for veteran salaries. The question is no longer who draws viewers, but who drives multi-platform engagement at the lowest cost. Until legacy stars can prove their social commerce ROI equals or surpasses viral newcomers, executives will keep veteran deals on ice. What Kelly wants. Friends say Monaco remains open but not desperate. She reportedly turned down a reality dating pilot because it felt exploitative, yet she accepted a cameo in the Hulu anthology series Route 6, playing a mother who moonlights as a poker shark. In interviews she sidesteps GH gossip, focusing instead on mental health advocacy and her new foundation Quiet Phoenix, which funds therapy grants for first responders. That purposeful redirection suggests she's curating a fresh personal brand that functions with, or without, a daytime comeback. Can bridges be rebuilt? Hollywood history shows fences can mend. Maurice Bernard once left GH for 3 years before returning more popular than ever. Melody Thomas Scott briefly walked from Y&R only to renegotiate a richer contract weeks later. If ratings wobble or a pivotal sweeps plot demands Sam McCall's specific brand of grit, executives may decide the math finally favors Monaco's return. Likewise, if Monaco's burgeoning projects plateau, the stability of a daytime salary and daily creative outlet could look downright irresistible. The verdict for now. So, has daytime television truly turned its back on Kelly Monaco? The honest answer is more nuanced. The industry is not chasing her, but neither is it permanently closed to her talents. Both sides appear locked in a patient chess match, each waiting for the other to blink at work, hoping she'll accept a leaner, streaming era deal. Monaco, betting her diversified portfolio will keep her financially and artistically fulfilled until someone meets her worth on her terms. The moment one side sees strategic advantage, the phone will ring, the scripts will flow, and the Phoenix cocaine may jingle once more in Port Charles. Until then, fans can only keep folding paper birds, refreshing podcast feeds, and demanding answers that may never come. One truth remains: in soaps, no exit is ever final, no silence permanent, and no bridge to scorch to rebuild, especially when a beloved heroine is just one plot twist away from a triumphant encore.